This is the crown. That is concentration. Buddha said, Samahitasayang Dhammo Nayang Dhammo Asamahitasya. Because this Dhamma is for those who gain concentration, not for those who do not have concentration. Which means, we repeated many times, concentrated mind can see things as they really are. And therefore, concentration is the key to see the truth as it is. It is like focusing the mind on a very fine object like laser beam. You have to have a good focus to see the depth of Dhamma, to see impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, selflessness, dependent origination. To see all these things at the deepest level, you need concentration. That is why Buddha said this Dhamma is for those who gain or who have concentration. And therefore concentration is called Indriya. Indriya means the chief. For instance, we have 6 Indriyas: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind. These are the 6 faculties, or they are called Indriya in Pali. Now, Indriya is the thing that is specialized in one area, the chief. For instance, we know for vision, eye is the chief. For hearing, the ear is the chief. For smelling, nose is the chief. For tasting, tongue is the chief. For touch, the body is the chief. And for knowing, mind is the chief. And therefore they are called Indriya. Similarly, in penetrating, concentration is Indriya. Penetrating, seeing things through very clearly. That is Indriya. And then it becomes a strength. Indriya becomes a strength. They are called Indriya Samadhi Bala, the strength of concentration. Samadhi Bala. And therefore it is also called a factor of enlightenment. Concentration factor, because enlightenment cannot achieve without proper samadhi, concentration. Therefore, Indriya, Bala, Bojanga, these 3 are even equally important. Then we have to make a distinction between Samma Samadhi and Miccha Samadhi. Samma Samadhi, or right concentration, must be supported by other 7 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path has 8 factors, and 7 of them must reinforce concentration. What are the factors that reinforce concentration? Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness. These are the 7. These 7 reinforce concentration. That concentration is called right concentration. Buddha very clearly explained this in this way. What is the wrong concentration? Wrong concentration is not supported by these 7 steps. For instance, somebody sit in meditation, sitting on the cushion. All of a sudden, person say, I gain concentration. I attain jhanas. Friends, that is a wrong concentration because it is not reinforced, supported by these 7 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. Wrong concentration. When one has wrong concentration, what happens? One does wrong things. Then the person speaks wrongly, thinks wrongly, act wrongly, work wrongly, make effort wrongly, have mindfulness, wrong mindfulness. People think whenever we say mindfulness, they think it is always wholesome. No, it is not so. Even mindfulness has 2 sides, wrong mindfulness and right mindfulness. And that is why when Siddhartha Gautama went to various religious teachers, at least last 2, Alara Kalama Uddakaram Putta, he left each of them thinking that they too, they have these faculties. They have the same faculties, Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. And Siddhartha Gautama said, I too have Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. But neither they nor I have attained the full enlightenment. Why is that? These 5 faculties, including concentrations, are not right faculties. The Saddha is wrong Saddha, Virya is wrong Virya, Sati is wrong Sati, Samadhi is wrong Samadhi, Panya is wrong Panya, and therefore they have not attained enlightenment. And that is why he decided to give them up and started the practice on his own. And then he remembered when he was a little child, his nurses took him to see the ploughing festival. King Suddhodana himself was himself engaged in ploughing in order to encourage farmers. He did not sit in the palace and gave orders. He went to the field, worked with people, and set an example. Anyway, then the Siddhartha's nurses, since it was a very, very big festival, took this little child to the ploughing festival and put him under rose apple tree and joined the festivities. And this child, without seeing anybody around him, sat in cross-legged position and practiced meditation. And he gained concentration. Siddhartha Gautama Bodhisattva, when he left his teachers, he remembered this. He had concentration. Then he developed the concentration supported by these 7 factors, understanding and so on. And then he attained enlightenment and made it a path to attain enlightenment. That is therefore it is called Bodhi-anga. Bodhi-anga, the limb or branch or factors of enlightenment. Bodhi-anga became Bojanga when these 2 words joined together. Then he knew concentration as right concentration and wrong concentration. And he knew right concentration also has 2 aspects. Right concentration also has 2 aspects. One is called mundane right concentration and the other is supramundane right concentration. What is the mundane concentration? Mundane concentration is sasava punya bhagya upadhi vepakka. Sasa means with influx. Asa means influxes. Fermentations. So, ordinary people have influxes, asava or fermentation. Without destroying them, they practice concentration. Sasava punya bhagya. It belongs to merits. Practicing, gaining concentration is meritorious work. So we gain concentration and it brings merits. As a result of their merits, you gain jhanas, and when you die, you will be reborn in Brahma realms and you enjoy it there. And so forth. These are the results of mundane right concentration. And upadhi vepakka. Upadhi means grasping, holding. When they gain concentration, they hold on to it. And many people meditate just to gain concentration because they love to sit in one place, to have concentration and want to grab it, hold on to it, keep it, possess it, and they don't go beyond that. That is a good thing. Of course, gaining concentration is a good thing. That is called upadhi vepakka. It ripened in attachment. Remember these 3 aspects of mundane right concentration. Concentration is right. What are the 3 aspects? The person has influxes like asava, and it belongs to meritorious thing, merits, punya bhagya, and upadhi vepakka. It ripening in grasping. Beautiful description. Punya bhagya and sasava, punya bhagya, upadhi vepakka. With asava, taint, influxes, it belongs to merits, and ripening in clinging. Ripening in clinging, upadhi vepakka. That is right concentration, mundane right concentration. What is supramundane right concentration? Supramundane concentration is anasava chittasya, arya chittasya, arya magga samangino, magganga. That is, noble persons, it arises in noble person's mind. Who is the noble person? Person who attains extreme entry. That is the first noble person. In that person's mind arises the factor, concentration factor arises. It does not have ripening in clinging. Because from the time that person attains the extreme entry, from that time, that person's mind is bent upon giving up, not clinging. From that time onward, that person's mind is bent upon clinging. That is Nibbana, Ogada, the going towards Nibbana, stream, entry. A stream goes to the rivers and ocean. It doesn't stop halfway. Similarly, when once attains the stream entry state in meditation, that person's mind inclined towards the attainment of full liberation. In that mind arises concentration. Aryamaggam bhavetu. That person practices noble path, and it becomes the factor of that path. That is why this is called factor of enlightenment. This is called factor of enlightenment because it is a factor in the noble person's mind. Aryamanga samangito, endowed with noble path. Aryamaggam bhavetu. And therefore, that is the difference between mundane right concentration and supramundane concentration. Now you can see concentration is divided into 4. 1, wrong concentration. 2, right concentration. And right concentration is divided into 2. Mundane right concentration and supramundane right concentration. And therefore, this is very important to remember. Then, in order to attain concentration, to gain jhana, one has to keep practicing it again and again and again. Friends, any time you practice meditation, any time you gain concentration, any little bit of concentration, 1 minute concentration, 2 minutes concentration, 3 minutes concentration, 5 minutes concentration, and so forth. Every time you gain little bit of concentration, that adds up to making right concentration factor of enlightenment. I think I mentioned at the beginning the simile. I gave a simile. I think it is better for us to remember the simile in order to reinforce our memory and understanding better and refresh our memory. Simile is that the clouds brings little drizzling or drop of water to rains. When it rains, a drop of rain falls onto the top of a mountain. Sometimes it's drizzling, sometimes heavy. And this water seep into the ground and create little creeks, tributaries, making them into a river, a small river, rivulet, then big rivers. And then somebody built a dam across a river and let the water go through tiny little holes. And then the water going through tiny little holes turn the turbine and generate electricity. The water, when it is scattered, although water has the potential of generating electricity, when it is scattered, it doesn't generate that power. That doesn't. It is what you call potential power. It becomes kinetic power when it comes through the little holes and turn the turbines to generate electricity. That shows the power of these drops of water when it is concentrated. Similarly, every tiny little concentration we develop, no matter how short it is, how small it is, it also adds up, and eventually it brings us to the enlightenment. It becomes a factor of enlightenment. And in order to do that, we have to follow a certain method, certain system. That is what is called practicing meditation. That is, we call it jhana. We call jhana. I want to spend few minutes of how to practice jhana. Jhana is concentration. Of course, this even before I mentioned get involved in trying to explain that, I like to mention in this broad outline another factor of concentration. That's for samadhi. We are talking about samadhi. The Buddha had samadhi called attainment of the what you call culmination of compassion. That's called Mahakaruna samapati. Mahakaruna samapati means attainment, attaining. That is his compassion. It is, if you were to say, like solidifying. It is like solidifying compassion. His entire compassion solidifies and then focus on the field where he could utilize that compassion. It is said that every day in the morning, after his morning meditation, he attained to the state called Mahakaruna samapati. Mahakaruna samapati, and focus the mind on a particular situation, a person whom he should help that day. He focused his mind to find out whom he should help that day. For instance, we learn Matta Kundali, for instance. Matta Kundali, a boy whose father was extremely stingy, did not spend any money to get medicine to cure this child who was suffering from jaundice. He did not want to pay doctors or pay for medicine to give this to this child, this boy, and his sickness increased and he was going to die. The father thought if he dies in the house, people would come and see the dead body and would be very upset with the father for having so much wealth in the house. He did not spend any to cure his own son. In order to avoid that accusation from people, he put the dying child, outside the house on a little veranda. Then that particular day, Buddha used his Maha Karuna Samapati, and he surveyed the world with this Maha Karuna Samapati in mind. And he saw this boy. He went there. The boy was lying down, turning his face towards the wall. Then Buddha sent a ray of light towards him. The boy turned around and saw the Buddha, shining, majestic, holy, noble. Seeing this Buddha, this child, this boy became very, very happy. That instant he passed away, and it is said that he was reborn in heaven. So like that, Buddha, when he wanted to help somebody, he used this samapati called Maha Karuna Samapati. Only the Buddha could do that. Only the Buddha could do that. And he could do it because he perfected the enlightenment factors of concentration. Others can practice and gain enlightenment factor and make it perfect and attain enlightenment. Buddha polished it even more, and therefore he was able to do all these things. And then there is another samapati that is called Nirodha samapati. Nirodha samapati. That is perceptions and feelings cease. Cessation of perception and feeling is called Nirodha samapati. That is another powerful state of concentration. Ordinary people, until the person attains the third level of enlightenment, anagami, and nobody can attain Nirodha samapati, the cessation of perceptions and feelings. Why others cannot attain that state? They have fear, they have greed, and hatred. Kamaraga patiga. Kamaraga patiga, greed and hatred are still in people's mind until they attain third level of enlightenment. So long as they have these two fetters, they cannot attain Nirodha samapati, the highest of concentration, to cease their perceptions and feelings. When they have greed and hatred, there arises fear. Tanna jayati soko, tanna jayati bhayang. Bhaya means phobia. From craving, fear arises and sorrow arises. And so long as these very subtle, powerful negative mental factors are there, they cannot attain Nirodha samapati. Only when one overcomes these two, completely eradicated from that person's mind, that person can attain the Nirodha samapati and cease during that period that person's perceptions and feelings are not in action, not working. That person does not have that. So I will explain in next week, next Saturday, the rest of the way of attaining samadhi. Attaining samadhi. I think this is just outline, in the broad outline of right concentration or the factor of enlightenment today. And I want to end this session with my regular metta wish. May all those who are suffering in hospitals, suffering from various diseases, may they all recover from that and return to very normal health and continue their Dhamma practice and try to gain concentration to liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those very compassionate doctors, nurses, hospital staffs who are sacrificing their comfort, risking their own health to take care of these patients out of compassion, may they continue their wonderful service and practice Dhamma, attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May those who are grieving the death of their dear ones, may they relieve from those griefs and return to normal health, continue their Dhamma practice and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all others who are participating in this or not participating in this, but suffering in various places, under various circumstances, wars, crimes, political, economics, poverty and so forth, may they all be relieved from all these difficulties and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Bhante.